Hello YouTube, my name is Nero. Today we have some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, and I am very happy to say and happy to see that my microphone is actually turned on for this video. I was like 5 minutes into this video before I realized my microphone was still on mute, and I basically lost all of that. So happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. I am a little bit Irish. Did you guys know that? I have a little bit of Irish heritage in me. I know on St. Patrick's Day, everyone's like, I'm Irish, look at me, I'm Irish. I'm like an 8th Irish or something like that, which is kind of what I am. Lots of Irish on my mom's side of the family, but predominantly I'm mostly just English. I mean, there's a little bit of Irish on my mom's side, none really on my dad's side, mostly English all around, but still a little bit of Irish. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you guys out there. And if you're looking for some St. Patrick's Day entertainment, aside from, of course, playing on Daybreak here, which is a lot of fun when you're not being flashbanged constantly, can I just say, whoever's idea it was to actually make it so flashbangs return as a challenge for this map, that person is a sick, twisted individual who just should be fired from his job, to be perfectly honest, because it makes an otherwise pretty fun map not fun whatsoever because you're constantly being flashed. But if you're looking for some entertainment, aside from playing Modern Warfare Remastered and aside from playing on Daybreak, may I recommend two cult classic movies, right? So we have the Leprechaun series, hilarious series of movies that star Warwick Davis, and basically it's about a leprechaun, someone steals his gold in pretty much every movie, and he will go on a killing spree basically to get that gold back. It's actually pretty funny as well as pretty creepy at the same time. I would highly recommend that movie series, as well as the Boondock Saints. Now, this isn't so much about St. Patrick's Day or anything like that, but it's definitely Irish themed, and it also stars, or at least co-stars, Norman Reedus, who you guys may know as Daryl from The Walking Dead. So just two movie recommendations from Nero. Just want to let you guys know about those. I'm definitely be watching a couple of those tonight because it is St. Patrick's Day at the end of the day. So time to get with that aside, let's get into the actual topic of the video here, which of course is going to be Raven Software may actually be banning people for simply playing on Shipment. Now, there's actually been a number of bans throughout the entire history of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered for multiple reasons, and to make things crystal clear, I decided to dig up the Modern Warfare Remastered security and enforcement policy, and this is actually going to tell you guys pretty much everything you would need to know about what can get your account banned temporarily or permanently, as well as what can get your stats reset or potentially get your console or Steam account banned. There's a link to it down there in the video description if you guys would like to read it for yourselves. I find that personally reading something for myself gives me a better understanding of it, but regardless, I'm going to be going through most of it here in this video and hopefully shedding some light and giving you guys some context as to what they may actually be meaning when they give us these rules and tell us what can get us banned and what cannot get us banned. So number one is use of unauthorized third-party software for modding and or hacking. Some examples of this would be like aimbots, wall hacks, stat hacks, texture hacks, leaderboard hacks, basically all the shenanigans that we've seen at one point or another throughout Call of Duty's long history. If you get caught doing any of this, having wall hacks, having aimbot or anything like that, your first offense, there's no slap on the wrist here, your first offense is a permanent ban from the game with a stat reset and a leaderboard ban. They will also be reporting you to console manufacturers like Microsoft and Sony and or the Steam enforcement team, depending on your platform of choice. Number two is, of course, pirated content. Illegally acquiring Modern Warfare Remastered will result in you permanently being banned from playing online, which is interesting. They specifically say playing online. So if you illegally download Modern Warfare Remastered, can you still play the campaign? Like, is that how this is working here? I don't know. But they say you also have your stats reset, you'll be banned from the leaderboards, and once again, you'll be reported to Microsoft, Sony, or Steam, depending on your platform. Number three is unsupported peripheral devices and applications, such as modded controllers, IP flooders, and lag switches. If it's a minor offense, like for example, you're using a modded G3 or a modded M21 to get kills, you will be temporarily banned from the game, which can be anywhere from 48 hours up to a couple of weeks, really depending on, I guess, the severity of your offense. Your stats and leaderboards will also be reset. So if you have a modded controller and you're modding, say, a G3 or an M14, if they catch you, if people report you enough to the point where they actually take notice, that is going to be a complete stat reset right there, along with a 48-hour to up to a 2-week ban. Just to let you guys know that. If you get caught with a mod again, or if you're using something a bit more nefarious like a lag switch, which I have encountered a couple of times in Call of Duty, not in Modern Warfare Remastered, but in years past. I remember specifically one time it was on World at War. It was Search and Destroy on Asylum. I'll never forget it. Like, this guy would just lag out everybody in the entire lobby pretty much, run around, headshot all of us, and then win every single round. It was absolutely insane. But if you get caught with something like that, they will permanently ban you from the game. You will have your stats reset, and of course, you will also have a leaderboard ban. Number 4 is going to be glitching. This is going to include getting outside of the map and using that to your advantage. Your first offense is a temporary ban. Once again, 48 hours up to a couple of weeks, you will get a stat reset. They will revoke your ability to have split screen, so basically they take away your split screen privileges, and your leaderboards are going to be wiped. If you get caught again, if you have repeat offenses of glitching, getting outside of the map and killing people from there and stuff like that, it will result in a permanent ban with a stat and leaderboard wipe, which is interesting to me, man. Glitching outside of the map, because that's happened so many times in Call of Duty's history. I can't think of any times where they actually banned somebody permanently for doing something like that. I mean, heck, back in Call of Duty 4, to this day, you can still get outside of ambush. You can go outside the map completely and snipe people from out there as long as you have somebody actually helping you. And apparently in Modern Warfare Remastered, that's a no-go. They will ban you if you find a way to get outside of the map and use that to your advantage. And I wonder how far that goes. Like, is me getting on top of the roof, right, on Daybreak here, is me getting on top of this roof in old school mode considered an out-of-the-map glitch? Because all you do is run and jump to the corner and you're on top of the building. I'm still inside the map, but I'm not where I'm intended to be. I don't know if that counts as glitching or not. Number 5 is going to be offensive behavior. Using racially charged language, being offensive, being overly aggressive, or basically just being a cyberbully, which is cyberbullying kind of like has like, it sounds funny when I hear the word cyberbullying for some reason, but basically if you're a cyberbully, then your first offense is a temporary ban. Once again, 48 hours up to a couple of weeks. Your second offense is another temporary ban, and you will lose your ability to use the voice chat in game, which is interesting. Imagine just not being able to speak. Your third offense is going to be a permanent suspension with, of course, a stat wipe and a leaderboard ban. Number 6 is going to be improperly obtained DLC and unlockable content. So, if you're glitching supply drops or supply drop content, your first offense is going to be a temporary ban and a full inventory reset. Repeat offenses will result in you being permanently suspended from using the inventory system and a full inventory reset, which is interesting. When they say inventory, it makes me think of other things besides just stuff from supply drops, but I'm fairly sure this means supply drops and DLC weapons and stuff like that. Number 7, and this is actually the most important one, the whole point of this video basically, boosting. And this is actually taken straight from, once again, the Modern Warfare Remastered security and enforcement policy. Any user who colludes with another user to exploit the game for the purpose of gaining XP, prestige, game score, weapon level, or in-game unlock is subject to penalty. The first offense for boosting, which is a very broad term, is a temporary ban, a stat reset, and a leaderboard reset. Repeat offenses are going to be a permanent suspension, along with, of course, a stat reset and a leaderboard ban. This, of course, brings up the question, what exactly is boosting? Now, they did say specifically if you're working with other people, like if somebody's on the other team and you're working with them to gain XP, prestige, game score, weapon level, in-game unlocks, and stuff like that, that is boosting to them. But we have a number of accounts of people out there saying they have never boosted ever for any reason whatsoever, and yet they are being reset. A big theory that's going around is if you are playing a lot on Shipment, or specifically if you are surfing lobbies on Shipment, you may actually be boosting, right? That may actually be considered boosting by Raven Software, and you may end up having your account reset for simply just surfing Shipment lobbies, which is something people have been doing since day one, since the very launch of the game. I even made videos on it. I used to do it until I got incredibly tired and annoyed with Shipment. I would be with a full party of 6. We would search for domination. We would get into a lobby. If that lobby was not Shipment, we would back out until it was Shipment, or we would just vote random, and if it was Shipment, we'd stay. If it wasn't Shipment, we would leave. People have been doing this for absolutely ages, and it appears that you may be able to be reset, although I don't think it's very likely. I do not think that's actually the case. I think the people that are being banned for playing on Shipment are people that are working together to make Shipment as lucrative as it can possibly be. I'm trying to think of a better way to describe it. So basically, there are people out there who will search for Shipment with a party of 6. And once they find a Shipment lobby, they will then have a bunch of people joining their session, right? So there's 6 people on one team, 6 people on the other team, all kind of which are in this big group together. And they play Shipment against each other. Perhaps it's headquarters on Shipment, for example, where they intentionally do not capture any flags. Now, or headquarters locations, or domination where they don't actually capture any flags. They actually have some things in place to actually counter this. In fact, in Domination on Shipment, maybe you guys have actually run into this. I've seen it a couple of times. If one team has, like, say, the C flag, the other team has the A flag, and nobody has captured B, and it's been like 2 or 3 minutes without either team actually getting a hold of the B flag, the game is going to straight up end. It's like built-in anti-booster protection. If nobody plays the objective in Domination and the flag stays neutral for way too long, the game's going to end because it assumes all the players in that lobby are cheating together to get XP or headshots or so on and so forth. So a good theory as to why maybe some people are being banned seemingly for no reason whatsoever, it's possible that if you only play on Shipment, like if, let's say, for example, 70% of your games are on Shipment, you have a pretty high percentage of having a lot of these quote-unquote booster games where it ends up ending because nobody plays the objective. It's happened to me twice, and I haven't even played on Shipment in the past couple of months, right? Because sometimes you get into a match where the other team is just so much better than your team, they start spawn trapping your team, and you cannot get a flag to save your life. If the other team does not care to take the B flag, if they're so focused on spawn trapping you and nobody grabs B, then the game's going to end, and then everyone in that lobby may have a check mark against them saying, hey, they probably were boosting in this particular match. If you have enough of those check marks, it's entirely possible that you will be banned from Modern Warfare Remastered. Remember that your first offense for boosting is going to give you a temporary ban, a stat reset, as well as a leaderboard ban. On the flip side of things, if you're somebody who was boosting headshots in cage match, that apparently is a very bannable offense, and it's actually very easy to track, right? It's very easy to see, well, this person has 1,000 kills with his AK-47 and happens to have 900 headshots. I don't know why you go up to 900, but happens to have 900 headshots. That is a very tricky situation as well, because it's possible, especially on certain weapons, to just have a very high kill to headshot percentage. Longtime fans of my channel may remember this story. It's one of my favorite stories of Call of Duty. Way back in the day, back in Modern Warfare 2, I was really into the idea of scout sniping. And what scout sniping was, is I would snipe without stopping power, I would be hiding in bushes, I would be hiding in the most random obscure parts of the map, and basically trying to play like a quote-unquote real sniper. Wings of Redemption, of course, kind of coined that term. He had a lot of scout sniping videos, sniping with cold blood, sniping with heartbeat sensors, silent sniper rifles, so on and so forth. I remember on one of my prestiges, I ended up getting 100 headshots, and I think it took me 152 kills or something like that for me to get my 150 headshots. Like, every kill I got with that sniper rifle, was the Barrett 50 cal, was pretty much a headshot, because I would play nothing but ground war, and I would basically counter snipe other snipers, people that pop their heads out of windows, people that would be in very easy, very predictable locations where they're just going to pop their head up for me. I would counter snipe them, and I would get so many headshots, and it was a fun time. I really enjoyed playing that way. If I were to do that in Modern Warfare Remastered, it appears I could actually get banned for that, because I would have an incredibly high kill to headshot ratio, and maybe they would consider that I'm actually boosting in my games. Now, of course, they do review this stuff, they do go through and check everything pretty thoroughly, but it's just something to bear in mind. That's something that could actually happen. Overall, I feel as though Raven Software needs to be more clear with this. They need to come out and say one way or the other if it is okay for us to be surfing Shipment lobbies. Because for me personally, this is just my opinion here. Don't try and take this as advice and go on with it. And if you get banned, come back to me and say, well, Nero, you said I could do this. I'm not saying anything's actually right. I'm just saying, from my personal opinion, if you are with a party of 6 and you're surfing Shipment lobbies and Domination for quick XP, that's not boosting to me. That's you playing a map that you want to play on, right? You're backing out of the lobby because you want to play on Shipment. That's not a big deal to me, especially if you're searching with a party of 6 and you are getting thrown into a pregame lobby and you're backing out of the pregame lobby. It's not as if you're backing out of an actual game and then the system's got to quickly try and find replacement people to throw into that game. It's ruining the experience for their players. Like, most of the time, we're talking about just leaving a pregame lobby, which is instantly filled back up with other people, right? It's not a big deal to me whatsoever. But there is a bit of a gray area where if you find a Shipment lobby, then a bunch of people join your session, you know these people, they're on the other team, they're part of maybe your Xbox club, or they're on your friends list and stuff like that. Well, maybe that's a gray area, and perhaps they would actually consider that to be boosting, because you know these people, you're kind of working together to only play on Shipment against each other, and who's to say you're not boosting headshots off of each other, or boosting scoring kills and stuff like that off of each other. So just something to bear in mind. Those are just my 2 cents. Obviously, headshot boosting is frowned upon. I personally don't care. I mean, I guess it does devalue Red Tiger camo, it devalues gold camo, exclusion zone, and so on, if people are actually boosting and cheating to get it, as compared to people that get, you know, legitimately. If I actually go out there and earn Red Tiger for my guns, which I have it on half a dozen guns at this point, if I see other people with red tiger and I know they cheated for it, it kind of devalues the camo for me. But at the same time, we're talking about a cosmetic camo here, and it doesn't personally bother me. It's not going to affect my gameplay what color that guy's gun is. It doesn't really bother me all that much. So I'm personally fine with people headshot boosting, but Raven Software has made it clear that they are not okay with that, right? We kind of thought that they were okay with it just by the very nature that they brought back Cage Match as a mode here in Modern Warfare Remastered, but they are not okay with that. Many people, I don't know exactly how many, but let's say several, dozens, hundreds of people have been banned for boosting headshots in a cage match. So if that's something you are doing, it's kind of scary, right? Obviously, we don't want our accounts banned. I've actually had my account reset one time in the history of Call of Duty. I'll tell you guys the story. It was in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. You guys may remember there was a prestige token glitch in Modern Warfare 3, which will allow you to unlock things rather quickly. The glitch was around for quite a long time, and a lot of people that I knew had also been doing this glitch. It was just something to unlock these prestige tokens, which will allow you to have extra custom classes, or unlock weapons, or unlock things faster, give you double XP, so on and so forth, right? People were abusing this. It was rampant throughout the entire community. Not to try and justify my own use of it, but once I hit 10th Prestige, I waited till I got there because I figured it would be okay if I got to 10th Prestige first because I wasn't abusing double XP or anything like that. I did the glitch. I forget what I unlocked, weapons or guns or something. I don't know what I unlocked. It was so long ago. And it just so happened like a week or two after that, they decided to have this mass ban of everybody pretty much who ended up abusing that particular glitch. Now, what was annoying was there was people on my friends list, people I played with every day, people in part of Team SB who were actually abusing the glitch for double XP to unlock extra things faster and stuff, and were doing it before they hit 10th Prestige, and they did not get reset, whereas I did get reset. They basically had all my stuff still on the leaderboards, but they reset my Prestige all the way back to non-Prestige rank 1, and it was so ridiculously frustrating, because if you're somebody like me that enjoys the progression of video games, I love seeing myself progress. You know, I love watching myself Prestige. I love watching my camos go up, unlocking, you know, just recently I unlocked Red Tiger for the M40A3. I unlocked it for the M4 Carbine. I'm happy that I have that. I'm getting relatively close to Blue Tiger on a couple of harder to use weapons like the Scorpion and stuff. I enjoy that sense of progress. And to have that progress just completely taken away from me for something as silly as doing a glitch or boosting or whatever, I don't want that to happen. So I stay on the straight and narrow, right? I keep my nose clean. Ever since that day in Modern Warfare 3, I am not going to be doing any glitches or anything like that because I do not want my account to be reset. It's just something I personally would hate. And that's why I made this video. If you are somebody who has been banned, chances are you were doing something nefarious. Now, of course, people are going to be like, well, I did absolutely nothing wrong in any way, shape, or form. I can't say. Maybe it was an unjustified ban and reset. I can't say. Maybe you are telling the truth, but I haven't seen you play every single second to Modern Warfare Remastered. It's possible you did boost even once, and that one time got you banned, or perhaps you were being excessively going back to the one with offensive behavior. Perhaps you were being incredibly racist, and perhaps you're being a cyberbully. Perhaps that's what got you reset. Perhaps you glitched outside of the map or did something in old school mode, and that ended up getting you banned. We don't know. Overall, we just need Raven Software to kind of come out and say that, you know, this is okay, this is not okay, this is our stance on the entire thing. Basically, we have this post or this blog over on Activision's website, and that's all we really have right now. So just kind of like, if you want my advice, I personally think, and I don't think you'll be reset for surfing shipment lobbies. I don't think that is something that can get you reset. If you're working with other people to get inside your game and stuff like that, to be able to boost on shipment, maybe that's something that's going to be actually bannable, or maybe boost is the wrong word. But if you have other people join your session that you know on the other team while playing a bunch on shipment, that is probably a gray area. I would completely avoid that. That seems a little bit too iffy to me personally. I'm just saying I would not do that. Of course, if you're playing cage match, get headshots on the other person, sure, but actually be playing the game. Don't just be walking up to somebody and giving them free headshots or taking free headshots. Don't be doing that. Play the game actually correctly, and I don't think you'll be reset. So there's a reason why we haven't seen like a mass banning throughout the entire community. They don't have just like this flawed system in place. It doesn't appear anyway. I feel as though they are banning people who deserve to be banned most of the time. Of course, there may be some outliers, and using this resource, which once again there's a link to it down there in the video description, you guys can have a better idea of what can get you banned and how to avoid being banned here in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Well, of course, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this down there in the comment section below. I hope you guys all have a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day. Of course, safe being the key word here. This is definitely a holiday that is very synonymous with drinking and stuff like that. So have a safe St. Patrick's Day. If you're staying in, I recommend, once again, the Leprechaun movies. Very funny and underrated. Some people may think they're stupid, but I personally think they are hilarious. I watched them a lot when I was like a teenager, my early teenage years, movies. It was so funny to watch these. And if you're looking for a more serious movie, just an awesome cult classic, there are 2 movies, The Boondock Saints 1 and 2, once again co-starring Norman Reedus. Absolutely fantastic. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Drop me a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.